So the Packers just took a loss to the Falcons, 25-24. Falcons kick a field goal with about a minute left. Packers can't get any yards on 4 separate plays, and we lose a game that we were up 24-12 when the fourth quarter began. So this is a tough loss. This is a close one near the end, and it's still fresh right now for me. This is a game I think the Packers should have won. Looking at how, 24-12 with just the fourth quarter left, and then we have 3 drives on offense that are just bad. Straight up bad. The first one was a 3-and-out. Love should have thrown an interception. It was dropped by the Falcons. The next drive, I believe it was, we have like a 3rd and 1. We hand the ball to A.J. Dillon, and he trips. So then it's 4th and 1. Then it looked like Love was trying to do a QB sneak, and the center didn't snap it. The rest of the line didn't move. And then, of course, the Falcons get the ball back and lead a game-winning drive and beat this Packers team. So, all in all, it's a tough loss for the Packers. But, the Falcons destroyed us on offense. Let me just pull up here how many total yards the Falcons have. Because I think it was insane what the Falcons were able to do on offense. And I knew this was a very good rushing team coming in. But they destroyed this Packers defense. The question for me coming in, the main thing for the Packers defense was, okay, you need to hold this running game in check. And that did not happen. Did not happen. So the Falcons had 446 total yards to the Packers 224 yards. They had 211 rushing yards at 4.7 yards per carry. So the Packers had no answer to this Falcons running game. None whatsoever. Joe Barry couldn't figure anything out to slow it down. Bijan Robinson is insane. He is an athlete, and he's tough to bring down for anyone. He was breaking Packers players' ankles left and right all day long. He finishes at 124 yards, 6.5 yards per carry. And honestly, before the fourth quarter, even though the Packers' defense was getting, gashed on the ground, they were playing well in the red zone. I think we started off holding them 1 for 3. We have that nice stop at the 1-yard line, whether that was the first or second quarter, sometime around there. We hold them for a few field goals, but then these final few drives, the Falcons just drain the time off the clock and consistently move the ball down the field. Have 1 field goal. I guess they finished with 2 field goal drives. And so it's just this Packers defense last week, we looked at them against the Bears, and they played really well all day long. And I think now, after week 1, part of my question was, okay, how much was it the Bears? How much was it the Packers? And today we saw the Packers have not fixed their inability to stop the run. That has been the problem for years and years, and today that reared its ugly head once again. So if the Packers can't stop the run like that, it's going to be a long year for the defense. I do think this is a very good rushing attack. There aren't many as good as this one in the NFL, but other teams now see, okay, you want to beat the Packers, you can run on them. If you got a solid run game, you're gonna have success. And so now let's move to the offensive side of the ball, because the Packers defense, as I said, even though they let up so many yards, they stopped them, held them to 2 field goals to end in the second half. But if you look at the Packers offense, the first couple drives were sort of slow, not much going on. We did start off with a field goal, but then we were starting to play well. Jordan Love was looking good, had 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. As I said, he should have had 1. We were up 24-12 when the fourth quarter began. And then, as I said, those 3 drives, nothing happened. And we just can't have that. We can't have the offense, when we're up by 2 scores, just not be able to move the ball at all. Like, we just couldn't move the ball. And so I think this clearly was a day where we were missing tons of our top-tier talent without Christian Watson, without Aaron Jones, without David Bakhtiari for whatever reason. I guess I'm not sure if the Packers didn't want to play on the turf. If he didn't want to play on the turf, who knows? Then Elton Jenkins goes down. And so when we were up 24-12, I tweeted out on X that, I was pleasantly surprised with what the Packers were doing without 4 of our best players on offense, which is important to remember. Like, we were without Aaron Jones, we were without 2 of our best offensive linemen, and we were without Christian Watson, and we still almost won the game. So hopefully in the coming weeks, those guys come back, and this Packers offense can find a way to move the ball, because to have that fourth quarter performance when we had a chance to end the game, and multiple times we could have just driven the ball down the field, kicked a field goal, and pretty much won that game, and we just couldn't do it. So there's still a lot this Packers offense needs to improve on. Jordan Love, he looked good a lot of the day, but that final quarter did not look great. He sort of seemed off in that fourth quarter. On that final drive, he had Dobbs open. There was a lot of pressure in his face, so it was a tough throw to make, but he couldn't get it going. But this is still a young team. a young Jordan Love who's going to learn from things like this. And as I said, once Christian Watson is back, once Aaron Jones is back, it's going to be a lot easier for this offense. If we look at the Packers running game, A.J. Dillon had a better day than last week, but still not great. 15 carries, 55 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. He had a few nice runs, but still was lacking explosiveness in short yardage situations. Didn't really find too much success. Packers receivers, the leading receiver, Dontavian Wicks, 2 receptions, 40 yards, a beautiful touchdown. And then Jaden Reed, 4 receptions, 37 yards with 2 touchdowns. Dobbs with 2 receptions, 30 yards. So all in all, this is a game the Packers could have won if they would have just had one nice drive out of those final 3, and that just didn't happen. We had 3 straight duds. So going into next week, we're sitting at 1-1. This is still a very solid Packers team. And I think lots of people, when they saw the news that Jones was out, that Watson was out, that Bakhtiari was out, that a lot of people thought, okay, this is the Falcons. The Falcons are going to win this game. And the Packers played a real good game. So there's lots of great things to love from this game for the Packers. Lots of things to not love, mostly on the defensive side of the ball. But Jordan Love, even though he didn't play great in the fourth quarter, he still had a solid day. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and I still like what we've seen from Jordan Love. And after 2 games, I'm pretty confident in him, especially once we get Christian Watson back. But all in all, tough loss. Tough loss. It hurts. We could have easily won that game. And so let's hope we can bounce back next week. Those are my basic thoughts. I'll give more throughout the week in the next couple of days. But that's what I have right now. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.